All right, so you've got your batteries and you're ready to build that big power bank. Wiring them in parallel seems pretty straightforward, right? But what if I told you that one of the most common ways people do it is actually, well, silently destroying their entire system from the inside out? In this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly why that happens. Seriously, think about it. If you've poured your hard-earned money into a big off-grade or backup power system, this is a huge deal. The way you connect those batteries could be the difference between a system that lasts for years and one that dies a premature, expensive death. And the crazy part is, the culprit often looks totally fine on the surface. And there it is. The method is called daisy chaining. It looks so clean, it feels so logical, and hey, it even saves you a little bit of money on cables. But this deceptively simple approach creates a hidden imbalance, an imbalance that can have some really nasty consequences for your batteries. So let's talk about this common and, believe me, very costly mistake. It's an easy trap to fall into, because when you first look at it, it just seems like the most obvious way to hook everything up. Daisy chaining is exactly what it sounds like. You just jump the positive from battery 1 to battery 2, then 2 to 3, and so on down the line. You do the same thing for the negative side. Then you pull your main power for the whole system off the very first and very last batteries in that chain. Simple, right? Unfortunately, in the world of electricity, simple isn't always best. Okay, so why is this seemingly logical setup so bad for your batteries? To get to the bottom of that, we have to look at the science, and it really all boils down to one simple, unavoidable law of physics. See, in a perfect world, in theory, every battery in your parallel bank would chip in and do its fair share of the work. But that's not how reality works. Electricity is kind of lazy. It's always going to take the easiest route, the path of least resistance. And in a daisy chain, all those different cable lengths mean that each battery offers a slightly different path, and therefore a different amount of resistance. So what happens? Well, the first battery, the one right next to your main connections, it's the shortest trip. It has the least resistance. So it gets absolutely hammered with the most current, both when you're charging and when you're discharging. Meanwhile, the poor battery at the very end of the chain has the longest electrical path, the most resistance, so it barely does any work at all. And the ones in the middle? They get a messy, unpredictable, and totally uneven load. This imbalance is basically a slow poison for your battery bank. The overworked batteries get pushed way too hard, and they age prematurely. The underworked batteries never really get a full, proper charge, which causes its own kind of damage and means they aren't pulling their weight. The result is always the same. Your expensive battery bank underperforms and dies years before it ever should have. But don't worry, it's not all bad news. There is a much better way to do this. There's a method that actually respects the laws of physics and makes sure every single battery in your bank is treated as an equal. Let's talk about busbars. The whole concept here is actually beautifully simple. Instead of connecting the batteries to each other, you connect every single battery to a central heavy-duty metal bar. You'll have one for positive and one for negative. Now, the absolute key to making this work, the magic ingredient, is that the cable connecting each battery to the bus bar must be the exact same length. So why are identical cable lengths such a big deal? Because it's all about making the path of resistance exactly the same for every single battery. By making that electrical journey from the bus bar to each battery identical, the current has no choice but to split up evenly. There's no easy path anymore, so every battery has to do its fair share of the work. It's that simple. I mean, just look at this head-to-head comparison. With a daisy chain, you're guaranteed a shorter lifespan, your performance is going to degrade over time, and you're introducing a very real safety risk from overheating. But with a proper busbar system, you maximize the lifespan, you get stable, reliable performance, and you slash that safety risk. The choice here is a no-brainer. Okay, so if you're ready to wire up your system the right way, let's just quickly run through a safety and best practices checklist. We want to make sure your system isn't just balanced, but that it's also built to be safe. First off, use good quality bus bars that are actually rated for the amount of current you're going to be pushing. Second, and listen, this is absolutely non-negotiable. You need to fuse every single positive battery cable right near the battery terminal. This is what saves you from a catastrophic fire in a short circuit. Third, like we've been saying, use identical cable lengths for everything. And finally, get yourself a torque wrench and tighten every single nut and bolt to the manufacturer's specification. And I really can't overstate that last point. A loose connection creates high resistance. High resistance creates heat. And heat, well, heat creates fire. It is one of the single most common points of failure in DIY electrical systems. So taking that extra minute to torque every connection properly is probably the most important safety step you can take. When you boil it all down, this whole conversation comes back to one thing: protecting the big investment you've made in your power system. So let's be crystal clear about what's at stake here. Daisy chaining doesn't just maybe shorten the life of your batteries, it leads directly to premature failure. It can also damage your expensive inverter when it tries to cope with unstable voltage. And worst of all, it creates a very, very real fire hazard. At the end of the day, an imbalanced battery bank isn't just about losing a few watts of efficiency, it's a genuine safety hazard that can overheat, vent dangerous gases, or even burst into flames. We're talking about a lot more than just losing a few years of battery life. So the question you've got to ask yourself is this. You've spent hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars on good, high-quality batteries. Why on earth would you gamble that entire investment on a shortcut wiring method that is proven to cause damage and create a serious risk? And please remember, working with high current DC systems like these can be very dangerous. If you are not 100% comfortable and knowledgeable about what you're doing, please consult a qualified professional. This explainer is for educational purposes only. Thanks for joining us.